Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison if you're new here, and welcome to Wonderland. Today I am doing an original tag. As of today, when I'm filming this, there is no Taylor Swift Lovers tag. If others tags pop up, please let me know, because I'd love to do or see theirs as well. But right now, I created my own tag based on the songs in Taylor Swift's new album, Lover, and I really am excited to do this tag. I personally love this new album we have. It's probably one of my favorites. I was not a big Reputation stan. I liked some of the songs on it, but my favorite albums, I feel like, Speak in this one. I feel like this one, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like it's the Speak Now era and 1989 mashed together, and it's just perfection. I just feel like Speak Now and 1989 became lovers and had this beautiful child for us. So I'm going to hop straight into the tag, and I hope you enjoy. The first question is off of I Forgot You Existed, and that is a character you would love to forget or wish didn't exist. For me, I have a strong hatred towards this character, and I know she is important to the story, but I wish I could forget her sometimes, and that would be Shay from the Ugly series. This girl made me so angry throughout the entire book when I read it at first, and I don't know, she is a brat in my eyes. I don't like how she treats our main character, and I know their world is messed up, and I know she's just trying to survive, but Shay, I wish I could forget you. The next song is Cruel Summer, which is actually one of my favorites, and that is your favorite summer romance book. For me, I have a very distinct memory of reading this book, so it's one of my favorites, and that would be My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I speak highly of this book because I read it on the beach. I always just attribute like this book to summers. I read it on a road trip, and I don't know, it's just the epitome of summer, and both of our main characters fall in love during the summer, and I love this romance in this book. If you haven't picked up this book, I highly suggest it, because it's just like everything you want in a summer romance and more. Number 3 is Lover, and that is your favorite OTP. I'm an OTP stan, and I've noticed it's not really in books, it's more in TV. But there is one couple that I just like stan so hard, and that is Emma and Jules from The Dark Artifices. Every time someone says OTP to me in terms of a book, I always think of them, and I don't know, I just love them. I think that their relationship is complicated, but it's still like, I don't know how to describe it without giving spoilers, but I just love Emma and Jules, and I love them together, and I love them as friends. I love them as peripatetic. Yeah, I just think that they are my ultimate OTP, and I love Emma as a character, so that's probably why as well. Number 4 is The Man, which is a strong female lead in a book, and for me, I really went through a lot of different female leads to go off of, and the one person, whenever someone says like strong female lead, I always think of Katniss Everdeen. I don't know, maybe that's just because she was one of the first strong female leads I read in a book, but I really love Katniss. I love her story arc, I love what she stands for, and I just think she's a very strong female lead that is represented in the books and in the movies as well, if you're speaking of the Hunger Games movies. So I really like Katniss as my strong female lead. Number 5 is The Archer, and that is a fantasy world you would be willing to live in. Now, whenever I hear The Archer, I always think of like a fantasy, like just a trailer of a fantasy book or a fantasy movie or TV show. I don't know why, but that just is where my mind goes. So that's why I did this question like that. I said that I would want to live in the Selection series fantasy world. I know like the caste system isn't that great in this fantasy world, but not all fantasy worlds are great, and I don't want to live in a fantasy world where I have to fight for my life. At least in the caste system, I feel like I would be okay, and hear me out, I could get into the selection. I know I'm not going to win the selection that happens in the books, but I would still be higher up because they end up in a higher caste if they are in the selection. And I'm okay with that. Marry up because I was in the selection and just have like a nice little family and not die of like, I don't know, a dragon or like a magic. I was gonna say I would love to live in the Harry Potter world, but like the second wizarding world, I don't want to get Avada Kedavras. I'm just saying, I feel like my Slytherin butt, someone would see me, I would upset them by saying something stupid. And then they would be like, Voldemort, that Allison, you gotta get her. So, we're not gonna go with Harry Potter. We're gonna go with the selection. The next question is, I think he knows, and that is the book that is most loved on your shelf. Now, when I say most loved, I don't mean like you love it the most. Like it's your lover. No, no, no. I mean like the most beat up book that you have on your shelf. And for me, that is my first copy of Breaking Dawn. This is a first edition of Breaking Dawn. And let me tell you, it's been loved. It's been loved very hard, as you can see. There is a, like the binding has broken on it. I don't read this one. The sides on here, you can see the binding has broken. And the top is kind of fraying. And then the dust jacket is also a little bit ripped right here. But wait, there's more. Oh, so this is the binding right here. And like, I've never seen a book do this. So you know a girl read this into the ground. So the binding is broken, and then I think there's a page that fell out or is falling out. I don't even know at this point. Like, oh my lord. Oh, this is the Vampire Index. Yeah, I don't see it back here. I loved this baby into oblivion. I did get a new copy from just the Goodwill because there's abundance of Twilight copies at the Goodwill if you're ever looking for some. But this is my most loved book on my shelf, and I'm proud to keep it. I will keep it locked away as my child because it was very loved, and you can tell by a book. And I honestly loved well-loved books. I think that it really shows how much a person cared about a book and cared about the story, that they literally pretty much destroyed their book. So that is my most loved book, or most well-loved book on my shelf. The next question is based on the song Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, and that is your favorite forbidden romance. Now, I love me a good forbidden romance. I don't know about you. It's one of my favorite tropes. And I just read this forbidden romance, and that would be Lou and Reed from The Serpent and the Dove. This book comes out on September 3rd, and if you love a good forbidden romance, you need to pick up this book because it's a romance between a witch in hiding that's not supposed to exist because the church burns witches because they think they're evil and from hell and, you know, all that jazz. And Reed, who is a chasser, I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's like a guard of the church. So he hunts these witches down, and get this, to keep herself safe, she marries a chasser. You know that stuff is gonna go down in this book because hidden witch, person who thinks that witches are from hell and wants to burn them all, get married. Person does not know that she is a witch. Craziness ensues. So that is my favorite forbidden romance. I love a good forbidden romance, okay? And not like I'm a vampire and I'm a human and we're forbidden because we're a different species. No, this is like a next level forbidden romance. The next question is based off of Paper Rings, and that is a book lover you would marry. Now, I talk about this lover so much. I am practically married to them, but he loves the sea more than he will ever love me, so it's a sad day, but like, I'm gonna convince him to marry me one day, and that is Beck from The Violet Theory. If you have not heard me gush about The Violet Theory, go read it. Beck is a swashbuckling pirate who is sassy and suave, and I love Beck, and he's sweet and he's caring, and he is my book husband. I am sorry to our love interest in this book, but I have stolen your man. Sorry, I'm stolen your man. He didn't give me a ring, but like, he's a pirate, so he has to like go and steal it from someone. Maybe cut off a finger. I don't know what he does with his life, but Beck is my book boyfriend, and let me tell you, I love him with all my heart. The next one is Cornelia Street, and that is a book set in a place you would love to visit or love visiting. So for me, that is the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. I am dying to go to Scotland. If you don't know, I'm wearing a Scottish thistle necklace. I just love Scottish culture. I love the way that Diana paints the Scottish Highlands, and I love the show too, and it's just somewhere I've always wanted to go and just see the history that is there, and I don't know, just experience that. I feel a very deep connection to the Scottish culture, and there's a slight possibility that I might be Scottish. We don't know. It's like up in the air, but there is a lot of things. My name, Allison, is actually Scottish. It comes from the McAllister clan, so I don't know. I just feel very drawn to Scottish culture and Scottish way of life, and so I would love to go experience that one day. The next question is Death by a Thousand Cuts, and that is a book that left you in a puddle of mush. And for me, that would be the Legend series. If you know, you know why it left me in a puddle of mush. The next question is London Boy, which I'm determined that Taylor Swift didn't write about her boyfriend, and she actually wrote it for me as my love anthem to Tom Holland and his portrayal of Spider-Man. Yes, my Twitter bio now says just a Tom Holland and Taylor Swift fan page. It's not a lie, but my favorite London Boy in a book would happen to be Will Herondale. Is there anyone else? Like, I'm sorry, is there anyone else to compare to? Will Herondale, he has to be my favorite Herondale. Sorry, the other one. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to spoil it, but sorry to the other Herondales we know. Will is just so much better. He's afraid of rubber ducks. I could protect him from rubber ducks. I'm just saying, he could protect me from demons and like not getting killed in the Shadowhunter world. So you know what, Will Herondale? You're my favorite fictional British boy. This question is based off Soon You'll Get Better, and that is a favorite book that deals with sickness. This could either be with mental health or with like a physical sickness that is like cancer or something like that. And for me, my favorite book that deals with mental health is I Was Here by Gail Forman. I remember just absolutely adoring this book. I really related to what was going on in the book at the time, and just the story itself was told in a way that I really was able to connect to. And so I am gonna put like a trigger warning. This does deal with a suicide. That's kind of the mental health aspect of the book, but I think Gail Forman did a really nice job at dealing with that in a sensitive way, and it shows how suicide affects others in their life and how other people deal with it. Some people go through denial of not believing that they actually did it, and some people actually get over it really quickly and people see. The next song is False God, which is the sexiest romance in a book. I really love this song. I know people don't really like it, but I don't know, there's this like slight like sexy undertone to it, and let me tell you, I'm really digging it. I really love this kind of like story she tells in it, but there's still that like, I don't know if it's like the background music or what, or the lyrics, but it's just like the sexy undertone. So that's why I made it this question. And for me, that would be Twisted Desire by Jesse Elliott. If you have not read the Twist series, what are you doing for one? Go and get these books. They're fabulous. I love them so much. But Twisted Desire has to be my favorite because I think it is the, in my opinion, the sexiest. I love Skylar and Nikolai's relationship. They just like, a girl loves a good guy that is also a bad guy, but like treats you kindly, but is sexy. And the romance scenes are like, I can't read this in front of my grandmother. So if you're looking for a new adult book like that, go buy it now. Actually, you have to read the first two first, but those are just as equally as sexy, but I like this relationship the best. The next song is You Need to Calm Down, and that is a book you fangirl about like no other when it's mentioned. If there is ever a book that tops this, I will actually be surprised, but are we surprised it's Twilight? No. I am the biggest fangirl ever. When someone comes into the bookstore and buys Twilight and I check them out, I will gush about it for 20 minutes with them about my love for this book. I can't control myself. If someone utters the words Cullen or Twilight or Stephenie Meyer or just anything to do with that world, my brain short circuits like no other, and I can't think about anything else. Like, my cousin's getting married to someone with the last name Cullen, and my first instinct is, does he have a brother? So, like, if there ever was a fangirl of Twilight, that would be me. The next song is Afterglow, and that is your favorite villain that you can't help but love. Now, this is going to be controversial because I know people have either a love or a hate relationship with this villain, but I love him. I just can't help it. I fell back in love with this character after watching some like book talks. I just can't help it. There's something about this character that just like, I hate him so much, but I love him at the same time. And that's Sebastian Morgenstern. Sir, why do I hate you and love you at the same time? It's not for his looks. It's not that. I just love that he is so evil. He is so bad that I have to love him. Like, I just love that he is that evil. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I love him. And I know I'm not alone. The next question is me, and that is a book character you would want to play in the TV or movie adaptation. Now for me, this is always someone that I don't look like, but I like their personality, and I would be willing to dye my hair or put colored contacts in, because those are easy things to fix in the film industry, and it's done all the time. Or wear a wig, you know, like that. And that for me is McKenna Reed from the Dune series. And if you don't know about the Dune series, it's all about two girls. They go to Scotland after McKenna's aunt or grandma dies. I can't remember which one. And they end up crossing into a fantasy world where it's Scotland, but it's like Scotland back in the day. So kind of like Outlander. Maybe that's why I love it so much. And they end up meeting the princes. There's two princesses, two girls, and Prince is Duncan. And I don't know, I love McKenna. She's a fiery redhead, so you know I love her because I love redheads. She is funny and she's an actress, and I don't know, I just really related to her in the book in particular, and I loved her and her relationship with Duncan, and oh my gosh, I just love her so much, and I would love to play her in a movie or TV adaptation, or even like a YouTube Red show. The next song is It's Nice to Have a Friend, and that is your favorite friends to lovers book relationship. And for me, it's so cliche because it's like the most popular one right now, but it's always been To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I always loved Laura Jean and Peter. I love them. I love them in the show or movie, whatever, Netflix thing. I love them in the book. And I don't know, I love their dynamic together and how they get together in like a way that is like non-conventional, and they become friends and then they become like romantically together. So that is my favorite. I know it's really basic because To All the Boys I Loved Before is so popular now, which like I love that it's popular because it just brings more people into the YA fiction world, but yeah, I love their friendship and I love their romantic relationship as well. The last question is Daylight, and that is a book that left a lasting impression on you or you could not stop thinking about after you finished. And for me, I have spoken about this book a lot, but I probably think about this book once or twice a week, every single week since I've read it, and that is Even If I Fall by Abigail Johnson. I absolutely love this book. I love the emotional arc in it. I love the way the story is told. I love the relationship in it. Our main character is a figure skater. I really related with our main character, and I don't know, there was just something that resonated with me, and the emotions that went along with this book that resonated with me. I could just gush about this book for hours. Maybe I'm just a fangirl of my favorite books. I'm just realizing this now. And that is the Taylor Swift Lovers book tag. If you liked this tag, please feel free to do it. I would love to see everyone's tag who does it. Let me know down below if you're going to do it. I tag the people in the description, but that does not mean that no one else can do it. I want everyone on BookTube to do it and feel welcomed and included. So please do it. Let me know if you do it. I want to watch your videos and stalk your channels and just see what everything is about. Also, I want to know your favorite lover song on the album. Mine is probably either London Boy, Cruel Summer, or Cornelia Street. I like those. I really have been liking Cornelia Street, even though I can't say it today. That's like been on repeat for today, but honestly, I love the whole album, and I will probably have a different favorite every single day. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time in Wonderland, loves. Bye!